Hi, it's Michelle. Now the question is, after every class that I'm teaching, can you take what I just did as a movement lesson and do it on yourself? So the class that we had today was based off of the rotation from the iliac crest, pelvis, the whole sit bone, ischium, all the rotation here. So what I was doing ahead of time, and again, I don't evaluate my clients like this, but I was just trying to show the rotation. So if you take a foot and go down, the rotation around, how does it bring the pelvis over? So again, when you're bringing the foot back up, and you can do this on yourself, just see how you rotate. So this right here could be a lesson. However, on myself, I already don't like the way right here, as the knee comes over the heel of my foot, right here I don't have a support. So not that I hyperextend my knees, but I've dislocated that knee so I can tell I am being protective in some way. So I'm not just letting it roll. Now if I let this happen a couple of times, maybe that'll happen. But my goal here right now is to do like the lesson, to go in between here, the visceral tissue, into the rotation. So now the other way I showed rotation was through the head. So if I take the head and just rotate the head, how does it take the chest cavity? So here I find that because my arm is elongated, that it's going to stop around here because the chest right now does not have enough to bring the arm over. So if I bring maybe more the hand here, so if I start the rotation through my head, and again just seeing how I rotate, now I'm doing a lot through the pelvis too, and again to about here. So I can look at the whole rotation, so as my head rotates and my foot rotates, again, nice and slow to keeping this all in tandem. And these are all ATMs that are out there by Feldenkrais that you can do if you want to do that synchronized rotation and coming back. Again, there my knee jumped ahead of the head because my head needs a little bit more to come back. That rotation is not as clear through the chest, so I actually need a little bit of effort. Now again, not that I can't do the move, but because of the whatever's going on here in my chest is starting to lock up my pelvis. So if I actually were to jump and come here, then the rest of the movement is more efficient in my system. So again, that's just me evaluating me. It's okay. I'm not saying I'm screwed up, literally, but that's just the way it is. So again, if you want to work on yourself doing something like this, now I'm already looking for something under my elbow. That being said, let's see if we can try a ball. Because again, just personally, I like to not have habitual muscular contractions that are going to interfere with the work. Now, if ideally, this is probably a tad too thick, but it's still, I think, going to do the job, at least for now. So I'm just feeling, and again, these are very similar to ATMs that you can, where you're bringing the pelvis back, but I'm doing it specifically if you were to work on yourself. And this is just one variation. And I can feel just by putting in that there's just a part in my SI joint, and I kind of do this where I work through the pelvis in another video. So I'm just going to come in here and just ask the back of the pelvis, the SI joint, to participate a bit more. And now I'm going to go back and see, there we go, that's a lot better. Now see here I can feel the rotation off the femur has just changed because the SI joint in a sense got a tad more, it jumped ahead of the game. So now the femur is pulling versus coming down. So now this is where I'm going to do where I asked Claudia, who's pregnant, to work on herself, just to show you this. I'm going to put the ball behind me. So I'm going to come down here, And again, notice I'm softening my chest, and I'm just looking to rotate the femur down. Again, notice my arms aren't up here. I don't have big, it's just a nice soft, but I have the ball behind me just to pillow it. Now I can take this hand here and actually and aid it with the rotation. Not that this hand isn't capable, but I like a two-hand dance. And I am helping myself, meaning that I am bringing my pelvis back, but I'm doing it in rotation with my hands. So now I'm going to kind of do an upward thing, as if, you just got hit in the gut. And right here I can feel that picking up the inside of the pelvis, that little pickup in here. I can feel where the rotation is just, stuck's not the word, not optimal. So here again, just rotating. So I'm rotating the top of the pelvis or the iliac crest at the same time I'm doing a rotation inside with the pelvis. So now I'm twisting down. So twisting, still here in the gut. Notice too, I don't have to sit there and try and look at what I'm doing. I'm not even looking into the camera to see what I'm doing through the screen. It's kind of a light zone now. So I'm going to come in here and press. It's almost like a center, or punch where you're working on that rotation. But I'm also, see that I'm on the femur? And I'm letting myself fall. I love that, letting it fall, but it's falling against the ball, and the ball bounces, so it gives a little bit of a jiggle. So now I can work. So right here, just pulling, but I'm not just pulling on the femur. Again, it's still that rotation. Now it's a rotation down, but lift up through the back of the pelvis. Now at this point, my arm is up, but it's a much more relaxed state. At first I felt that I was holding it. I was just looking for that support. Now I'm going back, there we go, back into the abdominal tissue. Listen, I've lost my colon, 5 years ago now. I know what it's like to have inflamed abdominal issues, and it's not pretty. So, and the recovery from surgery, but it can be done. So here, I'm almost using the pulling in my abs. And again, feeling how the spine goes against the ball. Now what's interesting about the ball, if you want to change that, I can do a mid-back thing. Now my arm has something to rest in. My pelvis is freer. It would be a different movement, but it's still an option. So you can play with your balls as much as you can play with your body. So now I'm going to take this away and just see if it made a difference. Now I can either do it this way, so already, see how my pelvis, even on myself, can rotate and be more available? But I'm just going to go back to the first checkpoint. Now this is much quicker, you can spend much more time. So I'll come up more, so I'm looking more at you, and I'm going to go down and just already the difference coming off the heel and rotating it around. See how my pelvis, I don't even fall off my heel. It's just that rotation's right there. So just so watch the hip first. See how it's a more continual? And then as the heel, the foot, the knee rotates and brings that back up. Just relaxing everything, allowing it to happen. And bringing it back up. So now I'll do it through the head. Now, even though I'm saying I'm doing it through the head, I can feel it much more. I'll do more of the head this time, through the pelvis. So here I'll bring the hand up here, bring the head. See now, when I rotate the head, even though I didn't work on the upper chest, how it brings my shoulder over and around. So now I'll combine the two. So again, nice and slow, so the foot, let me see, I can't talk into it, but that the foot coordinates with the top of the head. Not just the foot, it's the whole system. You don't want to be at a speed where your foot is beating you like it did now. See, I only get the head to here, but see about what do I need to do complete layover, lay on my back. So, one of the many ways you can give yourself a movement lesson. Thanks. Oh, let's do it on me. So come in to sitting. Just see this side. And I can feel it right here. Roll back down. So, again, that side to this side. See, right here to bring myself up because the pelvis, so more of the work's being done on the back. So